Uh, I, I want to take this time before we get started to thank you for coming to our sixth webinar. It's amazing how fast time has moved from the beginning of the year, and this is our sixth webinar. And this particular webinar is talking about how to grow membership with the $500 that Rotary International will offer you. We have a great slate of panelists and an opportunity to actually learn more about how that $500 works. So let's look at the next slide here. And one of the things that I want to note is the folks behind me and the webinar itself. We have several assistant Rotary coordinators and also several innovative club advocates, and our they're more than a support staff, but they're our team that sort of puts everything together. And on our next slide, you will see probably the most important person, and that is Alex Johnson. He's the Rotary coordinator. But one of the things I want to note here is that all the things that we're talking about today, all the things we've talked about in the past, and as a great resource of a variety of material, can be found on our website, on the Zone website. When you go to the Zone website, just simply go to membership at the top menu button, and voila, you'll have a whole wealth of information. Also, if you go to the next page, you will see highlighted webinars that we've already completed. Just click on those and you get a chance to see the recordings. Now, let's talk about what we're going to do today. It's going to start with Alex. Oh, that was a great picture.
Oh, okay.
And Alex is going to lead us off. He's going to give us an overview of the Zone, what we've actually done so far this year, and what we're actually going to be doing to help the district. Now, the next person who will be up will be the next slide, Alex.
Oh, I've already switched. I thought I was going next. Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm going to go through the agenda first, and then we'll have you ready to talk.
Okay, wait a minute.
You can see Alex is raring to go here. Now, how you know that it's difficult to keep him in the background and just see how excited he's ready to go. So, and then after Alex, Sarah is going to come on and just sort of give us some details about the $500 that Rotary International is giving for membership, in case you didn't know, and also some more information about the $500 grant. After that, the next person who's going to be up would be Carmen. Carmen is going to tell you about her successes with the $500. And then after that, we're going to have Stacy. Stacy is the fourth panelist, and she's going to go into details about some of the things she's done in her area to improve membership, just simply by using that $500. It's free money, guys. We should be using it. And one of the things you're going to notice during this whole process is that most of us have already qualified for it. We just need to actually go out and do something. Now, so let's get this ball game rolling here. So the next person up will be Alex, and take it away.
Lots of clicking buttons.
Before you get started, let me just say one thing. Alex is doing all the work in the background. If you ever had the opportunity to run a Zoom meeting and the person in the background, you have to be doing so many things at once. So I really appreciate Alex being here doing that. And now you can take it away, Alex.
Well, good evening, everybody. I think as Lloyd said, I'm the Rotary coordinator, and I basically work with that team that he had showed earlier to help all the different districts grow in membership. I like showing this particular chart because most people don't know what our zone pair looks like. So if you look on the left, that's zone 25B, which consists of 7 districts. Then on the left is zone 29. Kind of think of it as Midwest. Zone 25B is Texas, obviously. And in the Midwest, we have parts of Michigan, but Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Kansas, and actually a little bit of Oklahoma. So we have about 47,000 Rotarians in our 23 districts and almost 1,200 clubs. So we represent a big chunk of America. And Sarah Diller is our regional membership officer, who you will hear from soon. Something else, everybody knows membership's a top priority. And I just want to overview something that all the different districts are discussing now, is the fact that the Rotary Board of Directors are asking all of us to have a 3-year goal setting. And this is what it looks like, and looking at the historical, and then I think everybody knows what, from the club level, district level, zone level, then at the Board of Directors level, we're looking at Rotarian attraction, retention, net growth, new clubs, number of Rotaractors, the number of women in Rotary. And that's what the Board of Directors is asking all of us, most importantly at the club level, track that. And then we pick, you at the club level will decide what your current goals are the year after and the year after. So if you aren't familiar with that, definitely talk with your district governor, because this is something we are doing from the club level up through the Rotary Board of Directors. So it's pretty exciting. Here's the same chart for zone 29. One other thing I wanted to do is talk about the number of tools that our team are working with the different districts. Your district membership chair is familiar with all of this. So if you look at some of the things on this chart and you want to know what is that about, contact your district membership chair. If you're in District 5890, that's Stacy Brevard. Carmen, I can't remember your number. Tell me your number.
5610.
I had it right. I didn't want to screw it up. Carmen, the district membership chair. See, Stacy's easy. She has it by her name. So it's like, boom. And Carmen is the district membership chair for 5610. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carmen, 7 years running?
Well, I think maybe 6 or 7.
6 or 7. She's the most experienced district membership chair we have out of our 23 districts. So we're lucky to have both her and Stacy speaking to you. Well, these are the number of different tools that our team are working with the district membership chair and their committees to help the clubs, because everything starts and ends with the clubs. And that's what we're doing, is to help the clubs grow membership, retain membership, and support their members. One of the things that I do when I work with the governor lines of each district, and every month I remind them when I did governor training or governor nominee, governor-elect training, I kind of say there's 4 things that a district could do to be successful. If they do these things, it will be successful. Well, it starts at the club. 1, have a membership committee, not one person. Carmen and Stacy can't do it by themselves. They need people to help. So anybody that's on this webinar, if you want to help in membership, contact your district membership chair and let them know they need help. 2, we have a roadmap. Our zone pair spearheaded the roadmap, and your district membership chair and your leadership, they know about the roadmaps. Well, the Rotary Board of Directors have adopted it, so all the other districts are also going to be using their own roadmaps as well. And we use basically a roadmap is if we have a destination from a membership perspective, that's growth. Well, the roadmap is the map to get there. They're just tools, resources, and best practice activities that clubs and districts could do to grow in membership. If you have any questions, talk to your district membership chair. And then some of our districts are implementing the membership Olympics. If your district's not doing, talk to your district membership chair. What that does, it allows the clubs to do membership activities and kind of a friendly competition type thing. And then lastly, service companion clubs. We're encouraging every club to start a service companion club. What is it? It's a satellite club that focuses on service. They have a reduced dues structure and all they do is service. So the main club could do what it's always done. Well, it can have another satellite club that just focuses on service. That has been proven to help clubs bring in a younger type of membership, a more diverse type of membership, and it gets the club to be more spread out in their community. If you want to know what that is, talk to your district membership chair. I hope our 23 DMCs get a lot of emails tonight. So what I do when I work with the governors, every month I reiterate, if your district does these 4 things, if your clubs are involved in these 4 things, you will be successful. Last thing that I want to do is kind of go through a tiny tour of what Lloyd talked about with our district website, our zone website. Hey, look who's here. There's Lloyd right there. This is our zone website. If you come over here to, it's got a lot public image, foundation, a lot of great stuff, but we're here to talk about membership. So if you click here, you'll go to the membership section. This is a great, we talked about the roadmap. This tells how each district is doing and different elements of the roadmap. Every month it gets updated. So if you want to know what your district is doing, you can look at the roadmap page, talk to your DMC. What's also great, if you click on this button, you'll actually see the roadmap. So if you want to know what best practice activities are for Rotary, click on here. This link right here will tell you everything that your district did in membership last year. And you can also look at what the other districts did. What does that tell you? A lot of great ideas that clubs and districts did last year that you could do this year. That's what I really love about having that stuff here. Then we talk about, everybody knows this page. This is our webinar page. Lloyd showed it. A question we get every month when the notice goes out for the webinars, will it be recorded? I think on 3 different places on the email, it tells you it's going to be recorded, but we get a lot of questions. Well, if you come up here, click it, you'll see the recordings for each month. When this is done, we'll add this recording. So yes, they're always recorded. You come up here to get it. And this is also where you register. Membership chart. A lot of Rotarians are not aware of this. Every month, your district leadership gets a membership chart. It's a spreadsheet. It goes back 12 years of historical data for each district and each club. Well, you can download that. Come right here, you click this button, you will get the spreadsheet. It goes on this website a day after your governor gets it. So you're getting really recent information. A lot of people are not aware of that. So I figured this is a good time to tell you. And then of course we have, this is what Lloyd's already showed you. This is our team. Now, on the side here, there's other additional resources. We talked about the roadmap. Today, we're talking about the DMC incentive program. There's an expense guides here. All the DMCs know it, but what we're trying to do today is let all Rotarians know about this opportunity. And if you have some ideas for your district membership chair on how they can use these funds, send them an email. Here we talk about some eligible activities. You click it. These are what other DMCs across the United States have used this program that we're going to talk about today. Here are the membership Olympics details, and here's Service Companion Club. And then there's training information. So go to the zone website. 99.9% of the people in our district have never gone to the zone website. So if you've never heard of it, don't feel bad, but there's a lot of great resources up there. We have a lot of websites in Rotary. So that really ends what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm going to flip this back over to Lloyd's slides. Is that what you want?
Okay. Oh yeah, that would be great. That would be great. Alex, thank you very much for that information. It's extremely important that you give the members know where that information is and for you to go out and actually use it. So the next person up is going to be Sarah. And let's see if we can skip her picture because I think we've seen her 3 or 4 times already.
Yes.
So Sarah,
Thank you, Lloyd. I'll actually share my screen. I do have a couple of slides that I wanted to share with you today. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me this evening. As Alex mentioned, I'm Sarah. I'm your regional membership officer. So whatever membership questions you have, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I can be a great resource to you as you look towards utilizing this $500 district membership chair reimbursement. So the first thing I wanted to do is just talk about the logistics. How do we go about receiving this reimbursement? There are really 3 steps. It's pretty easy. The first is that the district membership chair will need to complete the district membership committee intermediate courses, which are available on the Rotary Learning Center. I do want to highlight that in order to be eligible for the funding, it does need to be the district membership chair who completes these. However, once the DMC completes these courses, they remain eligible for the funding for their entire 3-year term. Those courses do not need to be retaken each year. Second step, execute an approved activity. So that can be anything from having a new club charter celebration to taking a prospective member out to coffee. And then once you complete that activity, you submit expenses within 60 days and by the 15th of June, 2024. And we will work to reimburse those expenses. So how are we doing so far? So far this year, 16 district membership chairs have completed the online learning courses. In the 2022-2023 Rotary year, 6 DMCs completed eligible activities. However, so far in the 2023-2024 Rotary year, we have not received any reimbursement requests for activities. So now is December, we're moving into the new year. We have about 6 months left in the 2023-24 Rotary year. So please don't wait until the last minute to use that funding. You can complete these activities at any point within the Rotary year. If there are any questions about how to get reimbursed, what types of activities would be eligible for reimbursement, you can always reach out to me. Here's my contact information. Send me an email, give me a quick phone call. I'm always happy to discuss activities that might be eligible if you have any questions about that. And that is it for me. Thanks so much.
Wow. Wow, Sarah. You know, I'm not used to someone from RI being so short-winded. That was a joke, so please don't use that against me. But thank you very much for taking time out to just tell us about what's involved in the reimbursement and the for the $500. The key component is for your district membership chair to make sure they complete the intermediate course. And also, what we're going to do now is actually talk about what people have done, some of the activities they've done, and the results from those activities. One of the things Sarah pointed out is that we have no one so far who's asked for the reimbursement. It's money out there, guys. We need to make sure that we get reimbursed for it. Let's don't miss this opportunity. So we're going to have Carmen come up next and have her talk to us about some of the things that she's been doing in her district to impact membership with the $500 reimbursement from Rotary International. Carmen?
Thank you, Lloyd. I'll tell you, this came up from RI for reimbursement for new member activity. It is some way of recruiting, supporting new members in your district. So we started a couple of years ago with some 4-way test plaques that the district already had. And we wanted the district to recognize and support clubs with their new members, and to help start the communication even at the district level with new members. And one of the comments that comes back from different clubs and different members is, so what value does the district provide? And we felt this was a good value and a good way to support clubs with new members. So we provide four-way test plaques that we purchase from a fellow community partner, and we distribute those to all new members in the district. And we do that by distributing those plaques to AGs. So when AGs go to visit clubs, do you have, reach out, do you have any new members? Here are some new member plaques. It's a way for the AGs to connect with the clubs on a more specific level. And then we also promote the clubs to distribute these plaques at their club meetings, posted on our district Facebook page. All of that type of communication, that connection between the district and the new members. So that is how we have been accessing, we did last year, the $500. So once I have received the bill from our district secretary or district treasurer, then I went on the RI website. I followed the link from zone 25B and 29 and followed the link, and I received support from someone at RI. I don't remember who that was, but they were very helpful and supportive, and I submitted it. They recognized it. They let you know that everything was done. I completed the district membership chair learning center course, and it took maybe, I don't remember the time frame, but each learning course was, I thought, very, very valuable and almost kind of a refresher for me. So that is how we have accessed District 5610, the $500, trying to find some way to connect the district with the new members and with the AGs and with the clubs.
That is great. You brought out a few points here, and I just wanted to highlight some of those things. How important is it that we get our new members engaged or to recognize our new members? I noticed that when you decided to do this particular, to use the $500 in the way you did, you decided to go after the new members. Why do you think that was important?
We know that most clubs do a new member orientation. Some clubs might not be as thorough or follow up. And we also know human nature that repetition with information and data is very helpful. You might hear of something one time, or a club might do a fantastic orientation for new members, but there's just so much information that the follow-up is important. So we try and create something that supports new members. They understand what the district is. And then another thing that we did in conjunction with this was create 5 emails that went out to new members. And we thought of it more from the district level. The first one is a welcome as a new member. You're part of District 5610. The second one is, what is the district? Who leads the district? Why are you part of this district? And what does the district do for, to support you and your club? The third one is on RI in general. You are part of a worldwide network of 1.3 million, and this, and what RI does in general. the fourth one is on all the youth activities that RI or that Rotary brings, RLI, all these youth programs that support building leaders. And then the fifth one is on the foundation. So, and we try and specify that or get the data in that letter specific to our district and the grants that we've provided and that sort of thing. So it's been in, these four-way tests are kind of in conjunction to just connect these new members with the district.
You know, that is fantastic. And the reason I'm bringing this up, when you look at the statistics, when you look at the people who leave Rotary over a period of time, it seems as though those folks from 0 to 5 years, the length of time they've been to Rotary, that's the lion's share of the people who actually leave. I had a friend that once told me that, I said, well, what happens after year 5 and 6? They said, oh, they make their friends, they feel attached to the club, and very few people leave after that. But from 0 to 5, you know, it's almost like we open the door and they're leaving. I like the idea that you're spending a lot of time first indoctrinating the new members into what Rotary is all about, and letting them learn more about Rotary and showing the value of Rotary. And that's going to pay out as far as them knowing the value of Rotary and sticking around with Rotary. Another thing that you mentioned is the Learning Center. When I started with Rotary several years ago, I went to the Learning Center, and for me, it was a major source of information about Rotary. And I've been back to the Learning Center every year, and I've seen it evolve into something that's really fantastic now. And I hope that, well, with this new process that we have with the $500, it's actually requiring the district membership chairs to take courses there. And they will see just how important the Learning Center can be, not only to members who've been around for a long time, but actually also for new members. So we need to really push the Learning Center so people can see what Rotary is all about. And I love the idea too that you're getting the AGs involved. They are a very important part of growing Rotary, and also helping the DGs out too, because they can play a major role in actually knowing what's going on in those clubs. Because sometimes the district governor won't have the opportunity to go to see the club 4 and 5 times a year, where the AG will have the opportunity to see that, and they can nip some of the things in the bud there. So that is fantastic. Any future plans for you with the with any future $500, or do you think that if you had to change the program any at all? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but what would you do?
Well, I think the key is if we have decided, after surveying club presidents, AGs, they all found it to be a beneficial, something that they thought was important. Someone gave an anecdotal response. They walked into a new member's office to visit with them, and they had the 4-way test plaque up on the wall. So that was kind of, and those are the types of comments we got back. So we are still getting positive feedback that they want us to continue this program. Now, whether we submit that for the $500, that the committee, we haven't even talked about it with the committee yet. I do think that we will revamp the emails a little bit, because everybody gets so many emails that what we're finding is the emails need to be very short. They need to have either videos or links to them rather than a lot of words. So the committee will be working on that as well. But I think going forward, we are going to definitely continue the 4-way test plaques, and then we'll see what develops in the next few months on other growth that we are looking at with the district as far as new clubs and so forth.
Oh, that is great. And you know, this sort of falls in line with our action plan. When you think about the first thing, what type of impact a program is having, you can probably look at your numbers before you started this program to see what type of retention you were having with your members. And then over a period of time, you can just look back and say, we've implemented this program, and what type of impact is it having on our district? How many people are staying around instead of leaving because they know more about Rotary? Carmen, thank you very much for taking the time out in your busy schedule just to come and tell us about this particular program. And we're looking forward to hearing more about what will happen in the future with some of the things that you're doing. I want you to stick around because we will have a Q&A session at the end, and I don't know anything. I want to have you guys answer all the questions.
All right.
So,
Carmen,
okay, thanks
you're pretty
again.
busy in the Q&A. A lot of people have questions for you.
That's great. So the next person up is Stacy. Stacy, tell us what you've been doing with the $500 reimbursement.
All right, so let's talk about the Grow membership with the $500 from RI and how our district in 5890 created hope in the world. So I think it was early spring of 22, the $500 was instrumental in starting a brand new club. That club started with 30 members. Yes, Lloyd, you heard me, 30 members, and it's still going strong. So you're probably wondering, how in the world did we use that $500, right? Well, I'd love to say it was easy, but it took just a little sweat, a little stress, and a whole lot of luck. So let's talk about that club. So out of the blue, a very energetic, wonderful Rotarian contacted PDG Michelle Barrier and myself inquiring about a club in the Spring Klein area of Houston. Well, guess what, Lloyd? There wasn't a club over there. And so President Sarah said, well, I'll start one. That was pretty darn amazing. So President Sarah and her husband went to work. They set up 2 informational meetings at a local bar, and then they made flyers and really took to the streets. Literally, they personally went to local businesses telling anyone and everyone about their idea for a new club. They passed out the flyers for the informational meetings. Okay, well then they made social media accounts and started posting like crazy about the informational meetings and why Rotary is so important to that community. Well, a local paper saw all of these postings and the flyers, and well, guess what? They ran an article about it. So bang, that's awesome. So at the initial informational meeting, I think it was 60 Rotarians, 60 non-Rotarians. Let me correct that. Non-Rotarians showed up. At the second meeting, a few weeks later, I think 70 appeared. And these are all non-Rotarians. So it's a dream, right? Well, then you're going, well, you never answered the question. Well, I'm getting to it. So that $500 went towards finger foods and sodas, right? Because you got to have the food and the sodas if you want the people to come. And it's at a bar. So we didn't buy alcohol, they bought their own. But at both of these informational meetings, they had like a 30-minute mixer prior to a Rotary meeting because these non-Rotarians are going, what are we doing here? So President Sarah set up a fantastic PowerPoint explaining why their community needed this Rotary Club, what this club would accomplish in the next year. And at both of these meetings, we had sign-in sheets. That way, President Sarah could plug all their information into Club Runner as a guest, and then everybody would get her club bulletins and anything else that she would send out. There were also various handouts and booklets. I made a bunch of things from the RI Brand Center, including these cool business cards that you can't see, but I had emailed you before in the week that has a QR code, and that QR code on this little wallet card links back to RI as a Rotary lead. Okay, so sidebar, Rotary leads are my favorite topic, okay? I know you guys don't know, but Alex knows. Leads are my thing, but anyway, I digress. So thank you, RMD Emily Tucker and RMO Brianne for making these little cards and flyers. during District 5890's RI membership and marketing pilot program that we went through as a whole process. Okay, so needless to say, the Rotary Club of Spring Klein, they started, like I said, with 30 new Rotarians. So job well done. But it's important to note that President Sarah agreed to a 2-year presidential term. I know you're thinking, what in the world? Well, remember, all of these people, except for her and her husband, were non-Rotarians, right? So we decided it would be best for continuity and basically training all of these people. So since she did that, the club is going so strong, and they've made an impact in their community by creating hope for all. So super cool. Okay, so let's talk about how District 5890 qualified in last year, 2023, for the other $500, not $50, $500 from RI. So I'm going to be brief, since I basically did the same thing with that money. This $500 went to the Harris County Medical Center Club. So President Raj Sharma, Sonny Sharma's kid, got together with myself, and he held an awards and mixer night. Okay, I called it an informational meeting. He called it a mixer night. So this amazing club decided to recognize a huge supporter in the medical center club, or in the medical center area rather, with a plaque and a certificate. When he did that, well, before all of that, there was a mixer, and then we started the meeting. So we had like a Rotary meeting with all of these non-Rotarians and this supporter. We also had a few VIPs in and around District 5890 attend, so it's super cool, at a big ritzy place in the Med Center. Our very own past RI director, Susie House, spoke briefly about her passion and the importance of Rotary's foundation. It was spectacular. Our District 5890's DG, Heather Amato, also spoke about her Rotary moment and why Rotary is important to her and the community. Now, I won't bore you anymore, Lloyd, but I just like the Spring Klein Club's informational meetings. We had food, we had those beverages, and we had a good time. So the $500 was applied to all of that. Again, I had the sign-in sheets, I had club brochures, and had various copies of the RI magazine that we all get. Okay, some people get them online. I still get the magazine because I like killing trees. And so I collect those magazines and I pass them out. I take my name off and I pass them out wherever. So each table had all these magazines from a couple of years. I also used the template from the Brand Center for these cards, right? And again, that QR code links back to the prospective member, back to Rotary.org as a Rotary lead. So I'm almost done, but here's my plug for Rotary leads, because Rotary leads are my thing. So please, DMCs, have a membership committee, a team of 2 or 3 people that can respond immediately to each prospective member or lead, that I call them, that your district receives. I don't care if it's texting on the phone, emailing, or calling these leads. You really got to immediately, within 48 hours, contact them. And I know, you DMCs, you're crazy like me, crazy busy, but I'm going to share you my secret, how to get these leads talked to and how to interact with them. So RMD Emily Tucker, who I love, made these wonderful scripts for me for both the club and the district. So it's awesome and it's easy. I find what I need and and within minutes, that lead has, an email, because I do emails. But if you really want to know where those scripts are, Sarah, I got it. You ready, sister? Okay, so go to RI or Rotary.org, knowledge and resources, click on membership, scroll to the connect with prospective members, and in the middle of that section, you're going to have prospective member outreach templates. And bam, you got the club and districts. And I cannot tell you how easy it is. Thank God for Emily. But again, you would be amazed at how you can grow your membership in your clubs and in your district just by talking to these leads. Okay, so I'm done about leads. But anyway, it is my passion. So again, I'm just so proud of both of our Houston Med Center and the Spring Klein Club for utilizing the $500 to gain membership for in order to help their local communities by creating hope in the world. So thank you. And guys, if you have any questions about either club, about the monies, about starting a club or whatever, or even my famous and favorite Rotary Leads, please do not hesitate to go to rotary.org and click on the knowledge and resource button, or email me. And my email's in my little, I don't know what you call it, whatever this is here. And so my little face block. But anyway, thank you, Lloyd, for inviting me to share what we did here in the great District 5890 these past 2 years. And thank you for allowing me to share my love of Rotary. So thank you and happy holidays.
Happy holiday to you too, Stacy. Fantastic. Those are two great stories there. One focuses on new clubs, developing a new clubs. When you don't know how dear that is to my heart to hear that you brought in at least 30 new members to a new club, and that they're staying and growing. That is so important. And the other one, let me ask you this question. The club at the health center. Sure, I remember you saying that you got new members at the event, but how did that impact the current members? Did they get involved? Did they get engaged? Did they stay around? Or are you still seeing a trend of people leaving the club?
No,
was that engagement?
They've grown. So kudos to them, and they're staying strong. And yeah, they're excited. They're uber excited. So yes.
Okay, great. You know, one of the things that you talked about that's also one of my passions is leads. You know, leads to me has always been that low-hanging fruit. Yeah. It's so, you know, when someone writes or calls Rotary and say, I want to be a Rotarian, and they send the information to you, it's so important for us to act on it as soon as possible. And it takes a certain person to, you know, to be in charge of that, to follow up as soon as possible. You'll be amazed first how it impacts not only the club or if they join Rotary, but also their impression of Rotary. They know that we really care about them, even if they decide not to become a Rotarian. But I think that's the LEAD program is one of the hidden jewels that I think we need to continue to foster. And I love your enthusiasm. That is great. Now, and thanks again for sharing those two things. We just had an opportunity here to see two major things: how to develop new clubs with the $500, and also how to retain an established club and keep them growing. So I hope you've been so far able to grab some ideas about what you can do with the $500 and also the process it takes to actually get the $500. Now, what I'd like to do is go into the Q&A and see what we have here. Alec, anything sticks out you see that we can address right now?
Well, we've been diligently answering lots of questions. Carmen's been busy.
Okay.
What do you guys see? Is there anything? Stacy, can you share the location of the scripts again? Or maybe you or Sarah. I assume Sarah knows too.
I did drop the link to rotary.org/membership in the chat. And that's where people can go to find those templates. As Stacy mentioned, they are, if you scroll down to connecting with prospective members, they'll be in that section. Stacy, it just warmed my heart that you were so familiar with the location of those. That made me so happy.
Girl, Emily and I made those scripts during the pilot program because I'm like, girl, you got to help me out. I'm too busy. So thank God for Emily.
Sarah, we have a question from Mary Beth. Is RI sending email messages to new members on a regular basis in the first 1, 2, 3 years? I think that's a Sarah question.
Yes. So we send an email. We send emails periodically throughout their first year of membership. I believe within the first month, with it at the 6-month mark and then at the 1-year mark, kind of wishing them a happy 1-year anniversary. Those do currently only go out to those who've indicated that English is their primary language. But at this point, that's what we have, the email nurturing that goes out throughout the first year of membership.
Perfect, thank you. And then Kurt's asking, where is the report with new members? Who would like to take that one? Sarah?
Yeah, that
That's
should
a
be available.
DMC out of 5790, by the way, a new DMC.
Well, welcome, Kurt, and thanks for the question. In Rotary Club Central. So if you log into your My Rotary account and navigate to reports, that will take you to Rotary Club Central, and you can run just all different kinds of reports. If you'd like more information on that or screenshots on how to get there, you can always send me an email. I'm happy to send more specific information with screenshots on how to get there.
And Kirk asked a follow-up question. You may not remember, you met Kurt at Zone. He was the obnoxious one. No, I'm joking, he wasn't. Kurt asked, can RI include DMCs on the email to new members?
At this point, I don't believe we have that functionality because it's pulled. The way that those emails are pulled is a very specific way, and it's kind of automated. But if you'd like to see those email templates so you know kind of what's going out, I'm happy to track those down and send those out.
If it makes you feel better, Kurt, as Rotary coordinator, I don't even get them because I've asked. So it's a select few, new members only. Okay, we have Carmen. Oh, Kurt, he said, thanks, Alex. Yeah. Carmen's got a couple questions. I think that's just people you're doing a lot of emailing. People are providing you with email addresses. Paulette Renette, she just put an email address in there. I don't know what that purpose is for. Maybe she'll send a follow-up with detailed question. And then is it possible, Sue Beatty, is it possible to get a copy of the PowerPoint they used? I'm not sure which they, because we had 3 different PowerPoints here. So if you could provide some details, Sue, then they will provide it to you if possible. And then Bruce Linden, I don't see the link to scripts in the chat. Sarah, can you explain where that is again? I think you put something in the chat to talk about.
Yes, I put the link to rotary.org/membership. And then you'll need to scroll down to connect with prospective members. And there are guides there. Those scripts are there. And if you have any issues accessing them, again, you can email me and I can send you those directly.
And always contact your district membership chair, because they will have access to them as well, because that's who you're getting the leads from originally. But we definitely want the clubs to see those scripts, because no matter what your DMC does, if the club doesn't act on it, it's a lead that doesn't go anywhere. So everybody on this Zoom who's not a DMC, you're the most important people here, because you're the ones that gets these leads to actually have fun and join the club. And I think everything else here is for Carmen. They're all email addresses. She didn't tell you there's a charge, the donation to the Rotary Foundation for every email. She didn't say that.
Oh, well, Alex, thank you for your hard work in the background, following up on those questions, because I know that can be a tedious task. One of the things I want to just reiterate, how important leads are. That program is so important. And another thing that was mentioned here too is the Learning Center. It's an opportunity for you to learn more about Rotary and the things that we do. So do we have any more questions before we close this out, or any more comments?
Well, we have questions. Bart,
Oh,
so we will have either the leads expert, Stacy or Sarah, to answer this. What are the 3 most important leads metrics?
What do you mean by that?
Do some typing, Kurt. The track, probably, if I think about the reports, is if the lead has been sent to
Contacted.
a club, if a club has responded, and if the person joins. Those are, I think those are the metrics that RI tracks, right, Sarah?
Yeah, the metrics that we tend to track at RI are usually followed up on by the district, if the district have contacted them, followed up on by the club, if the club has reached out to them, and then ultimately the main metric is the conversion rate. Are these prospective members becoming active members?
So
I think one of the silent killers in all of that is that we do the work and maybe not actually go back in and put in that we've actually done some of those things. So it's extremely important. If you see someone, you make contact with them, please just go back to the Rotary International and put in the data, and so they will know exactly what went on.
Or at
Stacey.
the very least, every prospective member is assigned a Rotary ID number. And you can pull that number, and in whatever database you might be using, use that number to add them as members. And that way it connects with our system to say, okay, this prospective member is now a member. And that avoids creating duplicate files and keeps every member's information and journey in one place.
Okay, but let me add to that, because what I have found these last 4 years of dealing with leads up into the convention and then after the convention, right? That was the whole point of the pilot program. Well, anyway, working the leads, I kept track on a separate spreadsheet than RI, because lots of times there's the work that's done on the RI database on Saturday mornings when I finally have time to sit there and mess with leads, right? So when I talk to leads or used to, I would check with them, hey, how did that meeting go? Did you have a good time with that club? Did you welcome that lead in? And then, oh, you entered them in the system. Did you use the lead number or did you give them a new number? So I have found that you have to cross-reference to make sure that Susie is the same as Susie Lead, because they have 2 different numbers, and then you have to ask data to consolidate the numbers. And so you're going to ask me, Lloyd, how in the world did I cross-reference? So I pulled off this cool report that DMCs have. I put it into Excel, and I took every lead and did a Control F to see if that was the same name, and boom, same address, same phone number. And that's when I sent it to data saying, please consolidate the RI number with the lead number. So guys, if you want more information on that busy work, that detail, holler at me, because your district does not get credit for those leads that have a brand new RI number, right? Those numbers have to match and be consolidated.
Stacey, I want you to know that you're going to probably be getting a lot of emails. Just
I figured, but that's okay.
Okay.
Because leads are really, really important. Like you said, they're the low-hanging fruit, and they really need to be consolidated, and they need to be cross-referenced. It is huge if you want your district to grow. So that's my plug for leads.
That's a nice plug for lead. Yes. Do we have any more new questions, Alec, at all?
Yes, we have lots. Okay, Kurt, I'm going to say yours is answered. A leads question from Chuck Udell, current DMC DGN for 5710. Stacy, what do you and your clubs do when the prospect does not respond?
After we send them an email, because I've found that a lot of emails go into their junk, we pick up the phone, or in those scripts, there's text scripts, there's phone calls, there's whatever. So we just pick up the phone and call them. And then we call them a couple of days later. We don't harass them because who wants to be harassed? But at least check back,
So you don't
And
keep
if-
their house anymore?
right?
That was
If
in the
I
past.
We usually have a 3 contact best practice rule, contacting three times in maybe 3 different ways. If you don't get a response, you can go in and close out that lead in the membership lead system with a note that indicates you've reached out to them and they haven't gotten back to you. If anything changes, if 3 weeks later they reach back out and are like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I was so busy, but I'm still interested, call me and I can reopen that inquiry for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And we have Chuck Udell said, thanks, Stacy and Sarah. And Sue Beatty still hasn't told us who she wanted the presentation from. So that's all of the questions.
Well, that
That's
that
amazing.
is fantastic. Yeah. Music to end the session with. I want to take this time first for thanking everyone for being a part of this, coming and listening to what these fantastic panelists had to say about how to grow membership with the $500. Also, again, I think I've said it probably 3 times already. I want to thank Alex for doing what he's doing in the background. I've done that before, and I know how tedious it is, and I just want to thank him for taking the time to do that. One of the things I want to remind you of, too, is that this is a monthly event. So next month, we have a new topic that's coming up, and it's going to be on January the 16th. Discover the ultimate way to create connections. We all know that Rotary is a fellowship organization. It started off as a fellowship organization. And that is one of the key components of what Rotary is all about. The things we do also bubbles up from the relationships we have with our members and our new members. And it's so important that we know how to make those connections. So look forward to some promotions about that coming out pretty soon. And since we have no more questions, Alec, you can stop the recording